We need to take back control of the US House of Representatives, because it's become essentially the crazy house at this point. The majority of people in there are Democrats, and Democrats seem to have lost their collective minds. And so it's impossible for Republicans to get anything accomplished because they would have to work with the Democrats who don't want to get anything accomplished. They just want to scream about resisting and impeaching and everything else, but they don't actually have any desire to help the people they're supposed to be representing, to help the American people. They have no desire whatsoever at this point. There is no bipartisanship. So we have to get rid of the Democrats. And there are plans to do this. Kevin McCarthy, he is the House Minority Leader at this point, after Paul Ryan resigned. So if we were to get that majority of Republicans in the House, we would have him as our Speaker of the House, right? And he just set last year an all-time annual fundraising record of $52 million. A lot of money, but it's important because he set this record, and that really kind of shows a measure of support. Because you can have people who support a candidate or what have you, and they just say that they do. But then there are the people who are willing to actually open their wallets, who are willing to actually, put their money where their mouth is. It's real, tangible support. You might say it's the truest form of support, I guess. But this is actually a big deal. It means there are a lot of people out there who care at this point in time, and frankly, they ought to. Have you seen what the Democrats have been up to? Yeah. Trump also said that he wants a Republican to run in every seat in the country. There are usually some seats that we don't have a Republican trying in because we just accept that those are traditionally Democrat areas and they have been for so long that we just kind of write them off and just forget about them. But he wants to try because you never know when people are just going to say, you know what, I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. I can't take these Democrat policies and my town is falling apart. I'm going to try something different, try something new. Or maybe they remember Nancy Pelosi ripping up the State of the Union speech and they say that doesn't actually represent me. I want someone who wants to accomplish something. And so they vote Republican. And so for that reason, he's going to try and, fill every seat in the country if we can. We'll actually try at least run people there so someone has a choice. Everyone has a choice. And we could get a head start on this whole thing about taking back the House if Steve Knight wins California's 25th congressional district. And I know, you hear California and you're like, well, we can't win there. But the truth is, this was a seat that was traditionally held by Republicans until the 2018 midterm election. It was only then that Katie Hill took the seat. You might remember her name. She's the woman who had those kind of raunchy pictures circulating online of her and several of her staff members. And then she resigned. Yeah, those photos, I'm sure you remember. Anyway, there is an election coming up for that seat because she resigned. That election is not in November, it's in March 2020, it's next month. And so there are actually several elections around the country that are coming up immediately, right? But the person who the Republican will be running against for that seat is Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. Just, if you need to know what sort of person he is, take a look at this clip.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. Now why? Why did that happen? It's the dumbest thing I've said.
It really is the dumbest thing you said.
No, I'll tell you why. Because there's was the case that we covered where there was a guy or a girl or something that was pleasuring a horse, and the horse came to a conclusion, right? So who got harmed?
You know that.
Again, it was a Republican-held seat until 2018, so we should be able to get that seat back. And surely the people won't actually elect Cenk Uygur to represent them. I just can't even imagine, really. I don't think anybody but him. Anyway, if you're tired of seeing Nancy Pelosi jump around, scream about impeachment and scream about resisting, this needs to happen. We need to have a new Speaker of the House to replace Nancy Pelosi, and that happens by getting a majority of Republicans in the House. Otherwise, this whole impeachment hysterics is just going to start over. They're going to, convict him for tweeting mean things at them, which is basically what they did last time, in truth. That's what they meant by abuse of power. They meant he was mean. That was all that it was about. We need to remove their power at this point because they're nuts. They're seriously unhinged. And it's time to change that. And pass some legislation that actually helps the American people. President Trump has already been talking about making further tax adjustments to help the, well, people who need it most, the middle class. So we'll see how that goes. Don't leave yet. Remember to like and share the video. And if you want to be reliably notified of new videos, sign up for my newsletter. Also, if you'd like to support the production of these videos, I'd appreciate it if you supported me over at Subscribestar, or you can buy one of our HealthWise healthier products, or you can even get yourself some merch.